My name is Jerry South. I'm Assistant Director of Career Coaching at the Career and Advising Center here at NDSU. And we're going to talk today about how to utilize Handshake. I have a couple slides, and then we're actually going to get right into a live demonstration of Handshake as well. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. So Handshake is NDSU's official job board. Basically what that means is everything around employment, every aspect of employment for the campus is held in Handshake. So it is a sister product to Recruiting Solutions, which is the NDUS recruitment board or job board process that HR uses at NDSU and all the other university system colleges associated. But they do post all their positions through NDSU or post them all through Handshake as well. So for example, there's part-time jobs on campus and off campus, work study positions, internship positions, co-op positions, full-time positions, etc. And these are primarily focused around students, ideally, from all the employers who come in, are focused around students, but they're not all for students. There's some, like in the full-time range, there's ideally for students getting ready to graduate or have recently graduated, but alumni can use the system as well. Also, professionals can use it years down the road. So you'll have unlimited access to Handshake throughout the rest of your lifetime. Your account will adjust minorly from the NDSU credential login, which we'll talk about in a minute, to more of an alumni style like Outlook login, or using Outlook instead of NDSU's email and creating a manual password for that. But your affiliation and access to Handshake will always be there. So anytime you're looking for a job in the future or networking opportunities, you can go ahead and use Handshake to do that. Handshake is very much across the board. So it's local, regional, national, and international opportunities on there as well. So it's a huge gambit of plethora of employment opportunities, styles, types, etc. across the board. So some things you can use Handshake for, obviously, is jobs, right? The first and foremost, job postings are in there like we just talked about, but there's also events. So there's career fairs that are posted in there, employer presentations that are in there, and various workshops such as this one was all posted in Handshake. Now, it's also a networking tool as well. Handshake is a two-way communication system, so it's very similar to Indeed Jobs and LinkedIn kind of merged together, right? Minus that social media platform aspect of it isn't there, so you can't like have posts or comment on people's posts or articles or anything of that nature. But there is the networking component to it to make connections, and then really reach out to employers, have employers reach out to you, etc. And then you can personalize your profile in Handshake too, much more effectively than you can in other job boards. All right, so how do you go about doing that? And I'm going to walk through these steps, and then we're going to actually get into it and physically walk through it on the website to show you more specifically how to do it. So the login process, it's the link is on our website, the Career and Advising Center's website. There's a Handshake button in the top corner. You use your NDSU Blackboard credentials, not NDUS email, but NDSU email. It has to be the NDSU to set up your profile, or it will not recognize an auto import, okay? Because the profiles are built and automatically imported based off campus connection information. So once you're registered for classes and you got everything all set up and all that kind of stuff, that information is on a 24-hour cycle. 24 hours, it reaches out, campus connection reaches out to Handshake and vice versa, and updates that information. All right, and then setting up your profile. Like I said, when it imports that information from Campus Connection, is just a very basic profile of email, first name, last name, student ID number, and I believe your major imports as well. And then what I'm going to show you how to specify or tailor your profile to be much more presentable to employers and much more viewable to employers, like them really like what they see when they reach out to you and start looking students up. So on the bottom of the page, like I said, once you log in, you can scroll down to the bottom left corner of the page. There's a button that says Manage Documents. You'll upload your CV or your resume, and then there gives you an option to build your profile based off of that information. So it's a huge time saver when it comes to setting up a profile. You don't have to manually type in all of your experience, all of your education, all of your interest, skills, etc. It automatically imports that information into it. So it's really, really nice, and you can edit all of that information later. All right. Okay, let's just go right into the live demo now that we kind of talked a little bit about it. And I'm going to step through what Handshake looks like once we get in there. So this is our webpage, like I mentioned. Here's that button that goes to Handshake. Click on that. It's going to take you to a landing page for Handshake. Now, here is where your student login is going to be, this yellow bar right here. So you'll click on that. It should take you to the single sign or to the login page here. You'll click on this bar here. As an alumni, what you would do if you don't have an account already, you would go here and create a manual password for the system. But we're going to go here to click on login. And here's your single sign-on credentials, and it's got the Duo system or the CAS verification. It says, yes, I'm an authorized NDSU student slash staff slash employee, etc. All right, so here's what it is. Here's your student profile, what it looks like. Now, mine automatically came to this page because I've already set up my profile. Yours will come in and ask to get in and start setting up your profile with the basic information. So what I'm going to do is go over this page just initially at first. So it gives you suggestions on different events, attend an event right away, or make your profile more visible or stand out for employers. Here's a link to NDSU's Advising Center resources, recommends different things for you throughout the entire page. Here's one-on-one video chats for different employment opportunities, messaging employers. You can reach out to message employers directly, jobs that are recommended based off of your profile and your interests for you, etc. And I'm not going to go through click on any of these, just go through all of them. I'm just going to scroll through the page just so you can see some of the opportunities that are out there, right? So if you're looking for just an on-campus, it gives suggestions, job that are expiring soon, so you might want to apply quickly. I mean, there's just so much information in here and opportunity that it feeds your profile to really help set students up for success when it comes to finding employment opportunities. All right. Now this is a social assistance, a management consulting, etc. Now these are based off of the interests that I have put in my profile. That's where these recommendations are coming from. They're based off my interests directly. So everybody's page here is going to look different based off what their interests are. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back up to the top here. And now right here in the right corner, I'm going to work from right to left just because of it flows better that way, especially when you're first setting up Handshake. So here is a little icon. It'll typically have your initials in there. Now I've already uploaded a profile picture. There's a drop-down menu, and here are some of the things that you would go through. So there's your profile setup, jobs that you've applied for or you might be interested in, any interviews that might be coming up for you or that you've already scheduled for on-campus interviews or through an employer, the documents that you uploaded already, here's your interests, etc. And then if you want to make a review of a company or an internship or an opportunity that you had, you can put a review and create a review for other students to see as well. And then we'll go through some of these here real quickly. So I'm going to start with my profile. Now, again, I've already built this, so it'll look a little bit different for me than it does for you. You can put your tagline here. This is my tagline. It's like I would in LinkedIn. Same concept. The profile page right here. Now, this is all of I used my federal services employee resume to build this. So it's like a very long, more like a CV length. It is a resume. So if you see on the right side here, as I scroll down, it's got all my work history pushed in here already. But if you just load a one-page resume, it's going to be much shorter than that. That said, so it imports the information based off your resume. So you're just going to scroll down here on the left side, like I said in the slide there. Of course, this is already filled out for me there. Manage documents. Click on Manage Documents. Then it's going to say add a new document. You'll upload your resume. And it'll import your resume. Here's my resume. Like I said, this is my federal jobs resume, so it's quite a bit longer than most. I think it's like 6 pages long or something like that. But then here's the button right there. It says Build Profile from Resume. You'll click on that button, and it will automatically import and create your resume. Now, these sections will all have buttons on them for you to edit, right? So it'll look like, if I can get into it, if you were going to add education, it'll look like that, but it'll have the information built in the columns for you already. Like when you get to the work history here, see, it'll have the information in like this, and it'll ask you to verify, edit, etc. The case, whatever you want to do. It does that for all of those. Now, if I recall, if I scroll all the way down past my military history here, Let's see if there's anything new that I've added to my resume since I uploaded it initially. Oh my gosh. There isn't. There's nothing new. But you'll notice, look, there's my organizations I'm involved with. Here's my military history, etc. There's tons of information, and it's going to ask you to verify, so you can edit your format in this. You can edit bullet content, or add information, subtract information, whatever you want to do to try to make it as personal and relevant to employers as you want to. All right. Now, it automatically also imports these skills or interest areas that come from that document as well. So these are the skills that are automatically in there. You can add and delete whatever you want through the process. You can, take, so, what, I don't really do that one anymore, so I'm going to take that one off. Or you can add, what, I have a degree in accounting, so I'm going to add that. I don't. Anyway, who's viewed your profile? That information will populate a while later once you're in the system a little more accurately, more long term. For people who've discovered more students, so I can reach out to people who may have interests similar to mine. I can make some network connections there. I can change my personal information, etc. So all this information is imported automatically into it. Now, if I go to, so that's my profile. Okay, so, and again, there you can edit every single aspect of it. Now, we do hide your GPA, right? We hide your GPA just because we've determined that to be some FERPA information based off NDSU's parameters. And so we said, it's probably going to be safer. We just hide that information. Now, you'll notice I have it listed here, but it's locked, so I can't change any of that stuff. That stuff is there, but employers won't be able to see it. All right. Okay, so that's your profile. Like I said, jobs, this is like different jobs that you may be interested in, or that maybe you've already applied for, like I pretended to apply for some of these positions, helping students throughout the weeks and months in the past. If I go to my interviews, again, this is virtual interviews that I might have set up, or on-campus interviews I might have set up. I don't have any, obviously. I go to my documents, there you'll be able to manage any documents that you upload and add more documents, or delete documents. Career interests. Now, this is another aspect, right? This is a huge piece of this, because remember, this is a two-way communication platform, right? So employers who are looking for students are going to be looking for students who have the same interests that align with their company. So you can start editing and clicking and highlighting some of these areas, like aerospace, manufacturing. If you remember on my profile page, the very beginning page, my landing page, I had those areas in there. I had a manufacturing job, so it made recommendations based off of my manufacturing interests. So it started recommending jobs. And so anything that you click here will populate in those areas. So again, it's an AI system, so it's building recommendations for you based off of areas that you highlight, such as these. All right. Okay. And then as you edit that, you can save those changes. Then your reviews, you can write, like I said, you can write a review for an experience that you might have had already within a company or an internship or whatever. And then notifications. And notifications is an important page here. Now on here, you can see, you can edit notifications right here, or you can look at all these different aspects of different categories as well. So when you go to the notification preferences, here's how the system talks to you. This is where you can change. These you can't change, but the check marks you can change, where a blank you can change. So I can say, I want notifications from the event that I've joined that once it's updated. So maybe they change the date or the time or something, it'll automatically send a notification. It'll send me a reminder of an events that way. Or I want it via email and a notification. Okay, so the notifications pop up on your center or on your inbox up here. All right, so all of this information, you can edit all of these parameters as you're going through this. What kind of jobs are you interested in? Do I want to be sent a survey or not? Do I want to create a survey? What career fairs do I want to be notified of, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like I said, it's a phenomenal networking tool to really help you manage your career, not just to find jobs, but to manage your career, to manage a network opportunity, for it to push information to you, and for employers to reach out to you to bring to them and bring information to them as well. So this is a easy way to update some of these preferences to really make the system work for you the way you want it to work. right? So if you don't want it to push you, you can shut it off. Like, you know what, I don't want a mobile phone push once I've moved off a wait list. Whatever you want to do. So you can edit all of that information. And then your settings, right? That's the last one. This one, I'm not going to go through these aspects here, but in the settings page, notice here's your preferences again, right? So that'll take me right back to that same page I was just at, or your account information. So here you can edit your first name if you want to. Here's my first name. My real first name is Gerald, so I could have this say Gerald. My preferred name is Jerry, etc. What my school year is. So if you progress your degree, you can change your school year. You can add your mobile phone. Here you can add a second email address. You can change it from a primary to an alternate email if you want to. Reset your password. Ideally, that's for an alumni aspect, not for the campus connection, Blackboard, CAS aspect of it. So don't worry about doing that. Hopefully, once you have that dual authentication kind of concept lined up there. Now, here's a privacy thing. I want to point this out here too as well. Remember, it's a two-way system. So ideally, they recommend it to make your profile viewable to the entire community. Entire community being ESU staff and faculty who are in the system, employers who are in the system, other students who are in the system. So other students can reach out to you, employers can reach out to you, staff and faculty who are in there can reach out and make recommendations to you or whatever, right through the system. Or you can say, you know what, I just want the employers to be able to reach out to me, or I don't want anybody to be able to see me. You can make it private so nobody can contact you. All right. Work authorization. Say, yes, I'm authorized to work in the United States, or no, I'm not. You can prefer not to answer those if you want to. And you can also sync it to your calendar. Okay. So you can have anything, interviews or events. When you register for an event, you can say, hey, auto link that to my Outlook calendar, or, you know, whatever other calendar you want to put in there. And that's going to be a way to, it'll auto, you don't have to go into Handshake to see when the dates are. It'll populate on whatever calendar that you operate or prefer to use. All right. So that's the profile. That's setting it up. Like I said, once you get it in there and get it set up, it really isn't as hard. There's a lot of different pages I went through, but a lot of those are not used right away. Like I said, the interviewing or the job recommendations or whatever, some of that stuff comes automatically once you're in there. All right. So now going through the pages here, the other tabs. So the Career Center, this is our center. Here's some resources we have loaded. A lot of those are just pages, links to our webpage and resources on our webpage as they come up. Right there, the different links to our webpage. If I go back here, hopefully it'll let me do it. It's the resource library. There we go. Here's some upcoming events that we have or that we're pushing or sponsoring or whatever the case might be. Talks about our department, etc. Here's some upcoming fairs that we have, etc. So that's the way the system is used. You can, you know, hey, I'm going to favorite that one because I want it to be on my front page right away or whatever. First destination survey. So ideally, once you get ready to graduate, we want to know, we collect information about your future plans once you graduate. And we post that anonymously, collectively, with all the graduating class. So whenever you get a job, a part-time job, you can put internship data in there or whatever. That first destination survey is really a data gathering. It talks about where you're working. Is it a full-time job? Is it in your industry? What are you getting paid? Did you get a bonus? Do you have insurance? All the kind of questions are there, and it helps. Data is going to be used for other students to research different employers to say, you know what, who is typically hired in the past, people from my cohort or from my not my cohort, but from my major or my interest areas. So that can kind of give you an idea. And what are they offered? What are they looking at making? Where are they getting hired within the country or within the world or whatever? So highly encourage you, once you get to that point, you'll be sent an email from us to complete the first destination survey, or you can just automatically go in there and do it yourself. Okay, pressing on here, we go to the inbox. Again, that's notification from employers or other students, because like I said, my profile is community open. So here you can see all these different employers have reached out to me with, hey, I think you're a good fit for this job. I recommend you apply for it. So, I mean, and I'm not even looking for a job, but my profile says that I am. So once you start looking and you reach out to employers, they can reach out to you, and it's a good networking system right through the platform itself. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to go back over here, and I'm actually going to go from left to right now, because this Handshake icon here is the homepage where we started. All right. So this will take you right back to the homepage, right where the entire system starts. Now, you can look up employers directly. If you have an employer you want to research, you can look up, go right to an events page, which has employer events, workshops like this one, and then various other presentations that we might be putting on, or events we might be putting on, or employers are putting on that we're sponsoring or co-sponsoring or whatever. So that's a great tab. You can see all the different things that are coming up. You can register, see which ones you're registered for, etc. So that's what that event or that tab is in the events tab. And now the jobs. Now here's where some of the key aspects of probably why you're here in the first place, looking at how to use Handshake for the job aspects. But a lot of that pre-work is going to set you up for this tab right here. So on here, again, all the jobs that auto-populate are based off of your profile. Again, it's an AI system that reaches to your profile, makes recommendations for opportunities for you. Now, you can still edit in all the parameters of that. So it is a filtering system as well right here. So you can say, you know what, I want to just jobs located in this location, full-time jobs only, internships, part-time jobs, on campus, whatever. Put all the filters, and here you can see I want payrolls only. I want to be open to messaging through employers, or employers who are open to messaging. What job role do I want to take? And you can type that in and give you suggestions. What industry do I want to look in first? What types of employers do I want to search for, etc.? What major am I, etc. If you want to, do they accept OPT? Do they sponsor, etc.? Okay. So then you say hit show results, and as you're adapting or adjusting these, you'll notice that it's automatically updating on the spot. So 470 jobs are found. They're going to sponsor. Don't require you. Will sponsor, but don't require US work visas. Let's just go ahead and take a look at some of those results as we go through it, and it should refresh here, hopefully. Or maybe this is one of them already. All right, so intermediate, hiring, junior, and entry-level jobs. Now, here's the Indeed look, right? So if you've been on Indeed, you'll notice the jobs are all listed on the side over here. And then the job that's highlighted is a much deeper dive of what that job looks like, all right? So let's go ahead and I'm just going to look at this entry-level product manager. Why not? Let's take a look at that one. This one's in Austin, Texas. Here's the talent acquisition specialist that I could contact if I wanted to. It says it's an entry-level product manager engineer position in Austin, Texas, working for NXP Semiconductors is the name of the company. Application deadlines, etc. They will sponsor, accept OPT. I can apply externally. I can favor this one. I can reach out and message Lita right away if I want to. I want to look at what the job looks like more specifically. Here's a description. I'm going to hit extend that so you can see more details of that. What cross functions there are, what job specifics, bachelor's or master's, electrical engineering, computer engineering. Again, I'm an electrical engineer on my profile, if I recall correctly. At the moment, up to 2 years work experience. Ooh, you know what? Maybe I don't quite reach 2 years. Maybe some employers count internships or co-ops, others don't. Some count research through academics, some don't. So maybe I want to send that type of message to Alita and say, hey, just want to let you know, this is who I am. Here's a little bit of my background. I'm very interested in this opportunity. Wondering if you consider internships, co-ops, or research experience through academia as part of this 2-year work experience or not, to see if I'm qualified for this position. That's the type of messaging you could reach out to her for if you wanted to, or you could just apply and let them tell you no or yes or whatever the case might be. Learn about the company right here. It talks about the different aspects of who they are, what they're doing, and then show reviews. So 16 people who've worked there have done reviews of this company. So now I can go in there and actually see what companies or what other students have said about. So here it takes you right to their company landing page. You can read reviews about it, about the different experiences that these different people have had to see if it's a good fit. A lot of times you're looking for culture, you're looking for work style, you're looking for what's the work environment look like, etc. So those are some things that these reviews can really help benefit you in that process. All right. Okay, so let's go back to jobs here. Now, one thing I wanted to point out as well is when you're applying for opportunities, right? So let's just look at this one right here. Let's see. I haven't looked at this job, so I don't know if this is going to have what I'm looking for, but it's got the roles here. Let's look at the full job description. qualifications, experience, skills, and abilities. This is exactly what I'm looking for. These are areas that if I was going to apply for this job, these are things that I'm going to tailor my application material for to fit, to make sure I'm a better fit or look to be a good fit for this opportunity once they review applications and decide who to interview. So some of that information I'm going to put on my resume that obviously that qualifies for me, right? So I particularly am proficient in Microsoft Office Suite, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. So I would want to make sure that's on my application material, right? I do have a lot of leadership experience. It's preferred, but I do have it. So I want to highlight that aspect of my application materials. I have excellent verbal and written communication skills, or I like to think so. So those are things that I would highlight in my bullet statements within my resume or my CV or whatever the application, or my cover letter if they wanted to submit one there too, right? So that's how you're going to use this system to really reach out to employers, to reach back, have employers reach out to you, to really start a network through them, and also the ability to research jobs, the different types of jobs, determine if you're qualified for those opportunities, or at least try to get a better information if you are or not. And then you can submit your application material to them. Now, a lot of them will say apply externally, right? So once I've developed my materials, I'm going to hit apply externally. They'll ideally give you instructions on how to do that. And then you get to extend the next step. A lot of them will take you to an external application site. So you're apply like this one. This is the actual job site. Hit apply to job here. Sometimes it'll be a fill out your application right on their website. That's totally fine too. Some will take you out of Handshake just to all their jobs. Then you have to find that job all over again and then walk through their system to get you there. So those are different things that you'll be able to see as you go through the Handshake system, really determine if you're a good fit for the opportunity or not. Okay, so there we go. And so you can send messages to all these different people if you want to. Like I was talking about, you can look at the company, say, you know what, this is too big a company for me, or I don't want to go to Chicago. Oh, wait, no, it's just the headquarters in Chicago. It doesn't mean that the job is, right? In fact, this particular one is remote out of Chicago. So there's a great opportunity there to get some experience without having to put a whole bunch of costs in your pockets, or out of your pocket, I should say. And then some of them will actually tell you what their pay is as well. Does this one say? Fall internship at Chicago. Does it say it's a paid experience? I don't see that it says that anywhere on here. So that may be a question to reach out to Catherine here or William and find out if it's a paid experience. Oh, yep, no, that's the company. Yeah, so it doesn't say there. Some of them will tell you, some of them won't. But I'll tell you this, a majority of them are paid experiences within Handshake. There are some nonprofits in there, obviously, that some will pay, some won't. Some have a stipend to move you, others don't. So all that information is information that you can reach out to employers for to really get a good idea of what that company's like, what the experience might be like. Are you qualified for it? Are you not qualified? When's the best time to apply, etc. Then, like I said, all the different events are right there too. So all of our upcoming spring or fall career fairs are going to be listed in here at one point or another if they're not already. And then, like I said, you can research employers, you can save, register for events, etc. So it's a great place to really do some deep dive research in about companies, about different industries, really get a feel for what's out there. And like I said, it's not only domestic, but it is international opportunities in here as well. And it's a great system to really get your feet wet in the exploration process, in the job search process. And employers are intentionally posting in here to hire NDSU students. So that's one benefit this system has over Indeed or Glassdoor, which are just blanket application or job postings. These employers are here specifically vetted and approved by NDSU because they want to hire NDSU students. So that's one of the beauties of this system. Those are some tips and tricks on how to use it for your job search process. And I'm just really happy that have the opportunity to share some of this information with you. If you have any questions, by all means, feel free to reach out to the Career and Advising Center. And again, you can do that from right through this tab right here. You can reach out to us. Here's our website. It'll take us right back there. You can call us and email our organizational department email, or you come see us in Ceres Hall as well.